everyone, welcome to the next video in this series from Johanna Basford's Magical World, and we'll be doing this gemstone here. Now I'm going to be using a tutorial from this book, Colorist Special Effects 2 from by Helen Elliston. Now I'm going to use this tumbled ametrine tutorial. Now you can see it is a round stone rather than one that looks like this. I'm going to have a play, so you'll have to bear with me as well because it's actually done in Prismacolor, so I have to try and find the equivalent colours as I go. My first thing, let's come in closer, that's the first thing you need to be able to see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to white out those lines so that it looks like it's just one shape. There we go. So I'm using my Jelly Roll 10. Now I'm not very good at colouring over white pen, but I figure if I do it first and try and colour over it and just see what happens really. Now this isn't going to totally disappear, but if I put the pen on too thick I will chip it off with my pencil. I may do that a bit anyway, but my idea is to put a bit down first. Hopefully it'll dry quite quickly while I'm just getting my colours, and then I can always apply a bit more at the end if I think it's needed. So it's just faded it back really, it hasn't completely made it disappear, and I'm just going to leave it like that for now. So our first colour is Deco Pink, which is obviously a colour we do not have. I'm going to use the Pink Madder Lake for that. The Pink Madder Lake. Then we need a lilac. Ooh. I'm going to use this light red violet. It's not really the same, but it doesn't matter that much. Lilac, Palmer Violet. Let's go for this violet. Don't worry, I'll go back through the pages. Next one, Pumpkin Orange. How weird is that? I think the closest to Pumpkin Orange might be the terracotta. It's an interesting selection of colours, isn't it? Then we need the dioxazine purple hue, which is a really dark purple. I'm going to go for the blue violet, black. Then we need a magenta, and the magenta in the Prismacolor is, sorry, the phone rang, my husband was talking to someone. The Prismacolor magenta is not the same as the one here in the Polychromos. I think it's more like a fuchsia. That's what I'm going to grab. So it's quite a mix, look at that. But we're going to see where it takes us. Okay, so step number 1 is a Deco Pink that we put down but leave a little bit of white. In our drawing, the stone is the other way. I'm going to just adapt it. So the white bit I'm going to put about here, I think. Now when I did this before for a stone and left a white bit, I left it quite big, because I knew that I would probably need to make it smaller. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm coming along the bottom here. I'm trying to keep fairly light. We've got different layers of colour to go. And I'm going to sort of leave my white bit sort of here, I think. And as I say, it's bigger than I think I'm supposed to, but I can make it smaller in a bit. This is really uneven. It's because my pencil's sharp. It's easier to do a light layer when you've got a blunter pencil. But I'm going to leave that there for now. So we've got this sort of white area here, and I can come back to it and tidy it up later. I just don't want to burnish it too hard. Now we need the lilac. Now what did I pick? I picked picked the light red violet, and we need to add a few different areas. A bit top right, so a little bit here. Then a bit across here, a bit down here. I'm sort of adapting this as I go, which is why I'm being quite slow, but I don't think it matters. It gives you time to sort of catch up. That should be right to the edge, by the way. That's me being a bit messy. But here, there's a bit of a gap between the lilac and the edge. And it sort of goes here. Like that. Now we're told to blend and burnish it with white and then apply the lilac again. I'm not going to do that because if I put a white Polychromos on top of this, I'll not get anything else on it. So now it's Parma Violet, which I picked up the violet, and we add some areas. We make it darker down here. Ooh, get right to the edge. And in this top bit here, and a bit down here, like that. Now the pumpkin orange. Here he is, pumpkin orange. Oh, we have missed a colour out. Never mind. I mean, I haven't. Goes on here and around the edge of this bit here, like that. I don't think it needs to be too hard, to be honest. Just a bit there. Then our dioxazine purple hue, i.e. our blue violet. So you could follow along with the prismas if you want to. Yeah, that's about it, like that. And then some black. Now the black is on top of the purple here. It's to muddy the orange, it says. It's a bit darker in the middle than the edge. And a little bit along there as well. Okay. Now we need some Deco yellow, which I forgot about. I usually use the cream for Deco yellow. And this is for this bit here. So we go around some of it, but leave it white in the middle. And then the magenta, which is the fuchsia. And where do we put that? Oh, here. Along the bottom here and a little bit. Oh. Yeah, I think maybe there. Now I'm going to go back over and darken some of the areas. I think what I'm actually going to do is go for that pink madder lake and just try and sort of darken and blend the various bits. Now I don't want it all that dark, but where the colours meet I want it to sort of blend in a bit more, like that, and then it can sort of fade off a bit. So this edge is quite light, but I want to make sure I go right to the edge, I think. And then this bit needs to just sort of fade in. There's quite a mix of colour in there, isn't there? Now we can see these white / black marks a bit. I'm going to try and just go over them a little bit with my pencil. I don't think that's really working. Okay. Now I want that to blend a bit. I think it's looking a little bit mucky, so I'm just looking at my blenders. Got the that's the no, yeah, I could use the Prismacolor blender. I've just got to clean it. Can't find my scrap paper. Here it is. I just scribble the end on some scrap paper to clean it. Even if you've sharpened it, there's a risk that you could transfer some. I'm just going to sharpen it as well. And I'm going to blend. Now you could Polychromos blend with a Derwent blender. A Caran d'Ache blender doesn't work on Polychromos, but they work with this Prismacolor blender. I find the Prismacolor blender seems to work with all pencils. It's a very versatile blender, and it doesn't burnish too hard, which means you can come back and add layers afterwards, as long as you haven't put your layers down too hard to start with, which I find quite useful. I'm sort of blending towards the middle. There we go. I think that looks better. And then sweep away. Now we need to now get a black and add some marks, little details. And what it's got on it are sort of dots and sort of lines like this to make it look a bit sort of imperfect, should we say. Like that, to make it look a bit more like the type of gemstone it's supposed to be. But we also use a white pen to add a sort of highlight at the top. So, and this needs to be fairly thick. So, and I'm going to put a bit down the side, I think this side as well, because mine's a different shape to this pen. Mine's a different shape to the picture. There we go. So that is that one. It does look quite see-through, I think, if you squint and ignore the some of the covered over black bit, I mean. So there is that. Now we need to do our florals. I'm thinking we could go for a purple e-tone because we've only used a few. We use some purples that we haven't used. The mauve, it's a nice colour. Needs sharpening. Oh, it's getting dark now, cloudy. I popped out mauve. I could see it was clouding over and I wanted to post my Christmas cards. It is only the 6th of December recording this, so I'm going to fade towards the tip, so I wanted to get them posted early. I was meaning to do it yesterday, but I had to stay in for a parcel which is turned up today. But anyway, because husband's home, I could pop out, and I went up to the post box and I noticed that the local charity shop said it was taking donations, so I dropped some stuff off that I've been collecting together and dropped that off with them. And so, well, what I did was I went to the post box and then noticed charity shops. So I went back out with the stuff and posted my neighbours' Christmas cards through their doors as well. So now I've got some Christmas cards to take to my mum's at the weekend when we're all getting together, and I've got one to give to a friend when I see her soon, but I'll give it to her with her present. Now I'm going to do the tips of these flowers in a pink, because I think it's pretty, and we've done everything just the same colour. What shall I use? I think I'll go palish. I might use the light magenta. Here we go, light magenta. And just go over those tips, and it just adds a pretty prettiness, I think. Now we don't have a sort of really light pastel-y pink in this set, but I have got, you may have seen my review, I've now got some Faber Castell pastel pencils, which I thought might work quite nicely with this set. But I was going to do a bit of comparison of different pastel pencils at some point, but I haven't got around to it yet. There's been too many Christmas things to do. I've got a few videos lined up probably for January or late December, which are a little bit different. Chrome oxide green. I'm going to just do the basis of all the leaves with this, where I'm going to compare pastel pencil sets and metallic pencil sets, things like that. Someone's also asked me to do a video about unusual colours in different sets, which are the, you know, what colours turn up in certain sets that you can't get elsewhere. That's an interesting one. That'll take a bit of research, but I'm going to find that fascinating. And I haven't forgotten about it, but it's just all Christmas at the moment, which is all good. I think it's what people are going to be wanting, and it's what I want to do. But these others should be interesting. Because I've got a few pastel sets, a few metallic sets, and it's just sort of, you know, showing you what the differences are if you want to buy one, so you can decide. Got a bit of a curvy curve in my paper here, which is getting in my way. So this stone is called a tumbled ametrine, by the way, if you're into sort of gemstones and things. My son did A-level geology, and he is always very interested in the stones, but not in a healing point of view, but whereas a lot of people are, aren't they? But more in just interest, rarity, things like that sort of point of view. And when he goes to the crystal shops in town, or there's one where the lady talks a lot about their healing powers, he isn't keen. Emerald green, on hearing all about that. But our Christmas tree in town, the lights are being switched on today, and there's a lantern procession, there are market stalls and things, but we're forecast gale force winds and rain, which is so sad. I was thinking of going, but I don't think I want to go out in that sort of weather, and husband said he'd come with me early and we could look at the shops and market, but they don't even open till 5. Pity they're not open all day. There's a bit on tomorrow as well. It's sort of extended for 2 days for a change. It's usually only on 1 day, but again, it's the weather is really bad, so it's a shame for them. So I've got my white, and we're going to do some white dots on our flowers. I think what we'll do is we'll do some here, just sort of like, oops, pen doesn't want to work. Come on, pen. If your pen doesn't give you a perfect dot, try scribbling it on some scrap paper. It means means it's clogged, but I've got there in the end. So there we go. There is our. I'm looking at the picture in the book and mine, and they look totally different, but I'm still happy with how it came out, and the fact that it's quite different to the others. And I think it's nice to, you know, the idea is that I'm showing you different ideas. So I might run out of ideas because we have got 15. But anyway, that is me for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.